but this is not very right now, as it touches on very serious matters that are before the House. Honorable Speaker, this is a statement on allegations of inducement in the consideration and passage of a bill. Honorable Speaker, this statement is made on behalf of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs and its members with regard to statements made during the joint Kenya Kwanza ODM Parliamentary Group meeting held yesterday, 18th August 2025, that was presided over by His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, and the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. At the meeting, a statement was made to the effect that the consideration and passage of the Anti-Money Laundering and Combating of Terrorism Financing Laws Amendment Bill 2025 was influenced by a Kenya shillings 10 million inducement collected by a member of parliament or members of parliament allegedly on behalf of members of the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, the Anti-Money Laundering and Combating of Terrorism Financing Laws Amendment Bill 2025 was a bill sponsored by the leader of Majority Party. It was read for the first time in the House on the 4th of March 2025 and thereafter committed to the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs for consideration and reporting to the House. The committee duly conducted public participation, considered the bill, and tabled a report in the House to inform the House's second reading of the bill. The bill sought to amend 10 acts of parliament to address technical compliance deficiencies identified by the Eastern and Southern Africa Anti-Money Laundering Group, the Financial Action Task Force, in Kenya's regime on anti-money laundering, combating of terrorism, financing, and the combating of proliferation of financing. The record of the House reflects that after exhaustive debate, the bill and the amendments proposed by the committee were wholly supported, leading to its passage on Wednesday, 16th April 2025, with amendments. Following its referral by the President with reservations on the term of the Office of the Director General of the Financial Reporting Center, the bill was passed by the National Assembly on Tuesday, 3rd June 2025, with amendments fully accommodating the President's reservations. On behalf of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, I wish to categorically state that the committee did not solicit and did not receive any inducement of any kind whatsoever from any member or quarter in its consideration of the Anti-Money Laundering and the Combating of Terrorism Financing Laws, Bill 2025, as alleged or at all. The Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs and its members are fully cognizant of the principles of leadership, ethics, and integrity which bind the members of parliament. The committee and the members condemn and abhor corruption and any practice that is likely to erode these principles that are the substratum of the public trust that the people of Kenya have entrusted on this institution of the House of Parliament. Having deliberated over the matter and considering that the bill in question was a government bill whose contents were supported by the House, the committee poses the following 4 questions. Number 1, which member or members of the National Assembly solicited and or received the said Kenya shillings 10 million on the, or any other inducement in relation to the consideration and the passage of the bill? Number 2, who gave the alleged inducement? Number 3, what was the purpose of the inducement? And number 4, have the allegations been reported to the relevant law enforcement agencies? The committee notes that any inducement with respect to the bail could only have been given to persons opposed to the strengthening of the laws against anti-money laundering, terrorism, financing, and related offenses. Only a person or entity that engages in corrupt practices, or wash, as is popularly known, could have opposed the passage of the bill. The fact that the committee recommended the passage of the bill and ensured its enactment into an act of parliament that is now in force speaks for itself. For avoidance of doubt, the position of the committee and its members is that if any member of the National Assembly or any other individual solicited and or received any inducement with respect to the consideration and passage of the bill as alleged, the member or individual is a criminal. Such a person ought to be investigated by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission or the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, or even the committee of this House charged with the responsibility on such matters, prosecuted, and if found culpable to face the force of the law to the fullest. Such conduct has no place in the discharge of the mandate of the National Assembly and in the society of Kenya as a whole. The committee urges any person with information against any member of the National Assembly or any other individual with respect to the allegations to submit the information to the Parliamentary Powers and the Privileges Committee, which has always risen to the occasion and has jealously protected the integrity of the House and the members. Needless to add that the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee is one of the busiest committees in this House. It is unrivaled by the Finance Committee. These two being the busiest have always and will always resist any temptation, any advances that are made to induce the committees with the finances or any other form of material inducement, because the dignity of this House must be maintained at all times. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay my statement. Thank you very much. Before I sit, Honorable Speaker, before I sit, allow me kindly to read one article from the Constitution. This is extremely important, and members to listen because you'll be commenting on this. This is Article 96 of our Constitution. It is on the role of the Senate in the Republic of Kenya. Number one, the role of the Senate represents the counties and serves to protect the interests of the counties and their governments. Number two, the Senate participates in the lawmaking function of Parliament by considering, debating, and approving bills concerning counties as provided by Articles 109 to 113 of the Constitution. The most important is at sub-Article 3. The Senate determines the allocation of national revenue amongst counties as provided in Article 217 and exercises oversight over national revenue allocated to the county governments. So, emphasis is on sub-Article 3 on oversight. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay.
Thank you, Honorable Member Morugara. I promise to give Honorable Wandeto. Is he in the House? Honorable Wandeto, on the basis that he had a motion of adjournment, which was to talk us to the statement by Honorable Morugara, and I discussed with him and told him I'll give him the first shot. Members, you must also remember the provisions of Standing Order 87 on matters of contents of speech, so take into account that. Wandeto?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As you have correctly said, I had brought before you a motion of adjournment to debate this otherwise very
As
serious.
Wandeto takes the floor, how much time can I give everybody? 5 is... I have 1.5 hours for this. Can we do 3 minutes? With your leaders taking 5. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Like you have said, I had brought a petition to you. Mr. Speaker, you need to protect me.
Yes, give Wandeto an opportunity. Wandeto, you have 3 minutes to compose your...
Yes, thank you. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like to start by saying that this House, the House of Parliament, is a temple of democracy in this country. This is where the will of the people is exercised in accordance with Article 95 of our Constitution. And so whenever there are allegations of the nature that has been made in the last 2 weeks, Mr. Speaker, it is a matter of grave national concern, and that is why you have done the right thing to stop all other business of the House to ensure that members are able to ventilate into the otherwise very serious allegations that have been brought against this House. Mr. Speaker, I am very committed to the principles in the Constitution of integrity, transparency, and good governance. And Mr. Speaker, what we have seen the last 2 weeks is worrying. It started, I think, 2 weeks ago with an allegation by a senior member of the executive that there is indeed allegations of bribery within Parliament. I was at the devolution conference last week in Homa Bay, and none other than His Excellency repeated the same. The following day, the Prime Minister repeated the same, that there is a lot of bribery and corruption going on in this House. Mr. Speaker, to take you back to the events of 2024, these members of Parliament were nearly killed in this House as they defended democracy and the rule of law. Mr. Speaker, after that, there were some allegations that money had changed hands. I think there was a figure of 2 million that time. And members, some of them even lost their property. Their houses were burnt. Others lost livestock and other things. So, Mr. Speaker, an allegation of bribery against a member, especially the figures that are being touted, even makes it, we feel endangered as you walk the streets. People, first of all, imagine you are some 10 million or some 150 million, and others possibly think you are the worst enemy of the people. Mr. Speaker, you know we have been called MPs. We have been called all manner of names. So as I conclude, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge you, as the leader of this House, to do whatever it can, Mr. Speaker, to defend the integrity of this House. And Mr. Speaker, we must, first of all, and if you allow me, since I had a substantive motion, Mr. Speaker, add me only 2 minutes so that I finish. Mr. Speaker, it is important that you lead us to restore the dignity of this House. And there are certain things that we must stop doing. First of all, we have what I would call an unholy dalliance with the executive. That must...
Give him a minute. Give him.
Mr. Speaker, this House has to stop being a choir for the executive. Mr. Speaker, this week we have also seen a lot of attack on CDF and an attack on Constituency Roads Fund by the same executive whom we have helped here with very difficult decisions. And now, I think, Mr. Speaker, the chickens have come to roost. Mr. Speaker, I invite the members of the executive to read Matthew chapter 7, verses 3 to 5. We know corruption is a big issue in this country, but the Bible reminds us, while look at the speck of sawdust in your neighbor, while you yourself, you have a log inside your eye. Mr. Speaker, as I finish, it appears some people are falling, but we will not allow them to fall with the whole House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Otienda Molo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will beg that I be added 2 minutes for context as a member of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. Mr. Speaker, first of all, let it be clear, I am a member of the committee. I have never sought or received any gain or advantage to support or oppose anything, except as by law and my conscience and my constituents. Mr. Speaker, the simple sequence of that long statement read by my chair is that this was a government bill sponsored by the Executive Office of the President. And we were told that we needed to pass it to remove Kenya from the grey list. In compliance, and it was signed off by the leader of majority, we complied, it came here, it passed. Where is our fault? Should we have rejected it? Because if we did, then you can blame us. Mr. Speaker, if that passage of the act and the amendment was procured by any corruption, then that corruption can only come from the Executive Office of the President. Because they are the ones who wanted it to pass. And if that is so, then 3 things follow. 1, that either the President or someone in his office knows who gave the bribe. 2, the President or someone in his office knows who received that bribe. And 3, they know why it was given, because obviously it could not have been for passage. It's even more annoying that it is alleged that some 10 million was given. Do you know 10 million to give the members, that's 28,000. So it's being alleged that members of this house are cheap as 28,000 to pass a law. It's even more annoying. Mr. Speaker, some of us have reputations and careers beyond this house. So when you attend a forum where for the first time in a PG, live TV has been invited, and then you are being accused of that kind of thing, it is so insulting, it is so demeaning, it is so unfortunate. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this, that even if there was such a supposition by the President, Standing Order 42 gives him the opportunity to write to you a special message, which then you can table and we can inquire into it, not to be paraded and demeaning as if we are criminals. Now, the way forward, Mr. Speaker, I want to suggest that our only way forward, you see, in this house, we cannot discuss people adversely because Standing Order 83 all the way to 107 restrict our discussion. But for us, unfortunately, no one protects us out there. All sorts of allegations are made against you and you must just sit and listen. Our only ventilation is Standing Order 191. I want to suggest, Mr. Speaker, that under Standing Order 191, where we have our Powers and Privileges Committee, the Powers and Privileges Committee, 191(1)(a), is allowed to summon any person to appear before it for the purposes of giving evidence or providing information. This house has been called the house of extortion. This house has been called a corrupt house. This house has been alleged to have received some 10 million. My suggestion, Mr. Speaker, authorize the Powers and Privileges Committee to summon the President, or if not the President, then the head of public service and the secretary to the cabinet to come and tell us about these allegations, because we don't know how to protect ourselves out there. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Dr. Bukose.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for allowing me to contribute to the statement by the
Remember, you
leader,
have 2 minutes, 2 minutes.
by the
3
chair,
minutes
Chailak.
rather.
Honorable Speaker, it is a very embarrassing situation when the head of state stands and accuses this house, and specifically referring to the committee. It's not acceptable. I think, and if there was any issue, should have been able to have us as members of parliament and discuss this issue. To me, I suppose that most likely the head of state might have been lied by whoever took the information to him that that person took 10 million to the Chailak. Yeah.
Those are
because
his views. Just listen to each
if
other.
10 million was given, then the person who gave the 10 million must state very clearly whom did he give the 10 million. Yeah? That person must state very clearly, because it seems that person should be able to account for the 10 million. Where did you take the 10 million? Yeah? And most likely, and to who? Because when the bill came to the House and it was presented by JLAC, we were told this is one of the requirements and a precondition for IMF. And we passed. So, to be accused later on of having taken money, and it seems money exchanged hands, the 10 million must have changed hands. So where did that 10 million come from, and where did it go? And why? Because any bill that comes here and is a government bill is sponsored by majority, and more often, because we now have a bipartisan kind of agreement within this House under the broad-based government, we've always supported all the bills that the government brings. Therefore, this must be investigated, and the truth must be unearthed so that all of us can be cleaned. Because when we go out there, people are looking at us as thieves, as extortionists, and that is not right. We have reputations to protect, we have families to look at us, and we have friends who should not be suspicious of our activities. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Zamzam.
Mheshimiwa Spika, wajua fisi akitaka kumla mwanawe usema ananuka mbuzi, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, inasikitisha sana. Bunge hili ndio limeshika Kenya kwa mkono, Mheshimiwa Spika. Tumepitisha bills nyingi sana zao, hata hii ya money laundering. Mimi nilikuwa against kwa sababu najua kuna watu ambao wamekuwa targeted, Mheshimiwa Spika, ambao ni wa real estate. Na hatukuwahi kufuatwa na mtu yoyote kuhongwa chochote, Mheshimiwa Spika. Lakini ilipita hapa bila chochote. Kwanza katika wabunge mimi ni maskini sana, Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa sababu hata pesa ya ngafu ni kidogo, haitoshi paka natoa mshahara wangu napatia wananchi huko na baki bure. Sasa ikiwa hapa tunaweza kuambiwa kuwa wabunge wamepewa milioni 10, tunataka kujua nani alimpa, makusudi yake ni kitu gani, alimpa kwa nini, na hii bili ina siri gani kubwa mpaka itolewe 10 million, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mimi Mheshimiwa Spika nataka kusema sasa hili bunge tutatoa majembe yetu store, turegeshe kama tulivyokuwa pale mwanzo, ndio sauti zetu zitasikika, Mheshimiwa Spika. Haiwezekani wabunge wanahangaika, wanateseka, hawana pesa. Alafu hata hii mambo ya CDF, mimi sijui kwa nini hapa tuliwapa county government 485 billion, Mheshimiwa Spika. Sijui kwa nini haiwatoshi, wanakimbilia 54 billion ya hili bunge, Mheshimiwa Spika, wakati hatuoni kazi zao kule mashinani. Sisi tunasema bunge hili litasimama, na ikibidi wanataka tutoe devolution, basi tutaitoa devolution ibaki kama ilivyokuwa zamani, kwa sababu wanabunge hawezi kuwanyanyaswa kiasi hichi, Mheshimiwa Spika, mpaka kwenye televisheni wanaitwa wezi, wanaitwa extortionist, wakati ambapo mimi mama Mombasa najiangalia sina chochote, Mheshimiwa Spika. Hata ukienda kuangalia accounts zangu wenyewe watashangaa. Leo Mombasa nikaambiwe mama Zamzam, nyinyi ndio mmeiba pesa, nyinyi ndio extortionist, nyinyi ndio nini. Siwezi kubali, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kama mtu anataka kwenda chini na sisi, mimi nitaenda naye chini. Asante sana, Mheshimiwa Spika.
Musa Sirma.
Parliament of extortionists and people who take bribe. Mr. Speaker, people who are corrupt have a place to go in this country, and that is the court. And if there is anybody who has been known to have done those things, we want to tell the government to pick those people, take them to court, and they belong to jail. Mr. Speaker, we are being maligned by people looking forward to taking the money from CDF and taking it to the counties to be eaten. If a whole governor can bring 150 million to Senate, for sure. For sure, if I can use the words of the president, where is he bringing this money from? Counties cannot show the amount of money they have been given in terms of development to the people of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, it has reached a time that we need to audit the counties and really see whether they are really entities to be used for development in the rural areas. Mr. Speaker, if I can remember, because I was in Bomas, the constitution actually which we passed and which was brought by the people is not what we are having now. The Yashpal guy had 14 regions and they were non-executive. And therefore, this executive power which the governors think they have, we must remove it. It is time that we talk to the people and let them be given development directly. Mr. Speaker, I beg to differ with all what has been said about this parliament, and we want the people who have done this thing to go down and be taken to court. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Robert Mbui.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Parliament is under attack, Mr. Speaker. And if you go on social media, read a newspaper, switch on your TV, continuously, this house is under attack. And Mr. Speaker, it has gone to the level where it has even gone to the funds that go to the people that we represent. That is CDF and KERA and GAF and the other funds. Mr. Speaker, the executive must respect this house. Members of this house have stood with the executive. Even though some of us have been opposing, members of this house have stood with the executive and supported them on all their agendas, including becoming extremely unpopular with the population because they were making sure that the agenda of the regime has passed on the floor of the house. But Mr. Speaker, now they have been thrown under the bus. It happened last year, even after passage of the finance bill, that the executive president again said that that bill was unpopular, and yet he's the one that had been telling members to support it. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that we must make sure that as a house we fight together. Mr. Speaker, there's something that is going on with the executive. When they say that this house has corrupt practices, I've been seeing empowerment agendas, empowerment forums all over the country. Mr. Speaker, someone who was just the other day a CS is able to give about 2 million, 3 million every week in a function, in fact, 2 or 3 functions in a week. Mr. Speaker, I want to tell you, what we need to do is start auditing the executive also. When they say there's corruption on the floor of this house, we also ask them, where is all the money you're spending coming from? Because, Mr. Speaker, this is a case of the pot calling the kettle black. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that it is important as a house we defend ourselves. Mr. Speaker, it shocks me when the executive goes completely against the Constitution, and members of, I'm lucky I was not in the lecture room yesterday, but Mr. Speaker, I hear that even constitutional articles, provisions that are there in the Constitution were actually thrown under the bus also. Because when you say that the Senate has no authority to go and oversight counties, basically that completely goes against the Constitution. So as a House of Parliament, all of us, National Assembly and Senate, we must stick together and ensure that we're each other's keeper and we support each other and pass the bills that are good for the people of this country. And Mr. Speaker, hold the executive to account. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Dr. Mutunga.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to refer to sentiment by Honorable Mole. We did not discuss anything in that meeting. because he's alluding to the fact that we kept quiet. There was no discussion, so there were no resolutions. So the meeting ended as such. It should go into record. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Murugara must be finding himself in a very difficult situation. Because I'm a chair of a committee, I know how difficult it is for the committee report to be amended. We do these reports with Secretariat. We have to do the right thing. We would like to know who this is. Honorable Speaker, the report was given from raw information, intelligence. So the person who was given the money is known. And the reasons why the person was given the money is also known. Honorable Speaker, as members of parliament, we need to be cleansed from this. We have suffered a lot as parliamentarians. There has been so much that we are supporting the executive, and this is what we can get in return. Honorable Speaker, since they are known, for us to be cleansed, they need to be named. Yes. The reasons why the money was given also needs to be brought to this house so that members of parliament can be cleansed. Out there, we have a very bad name for supporting the executive. But we are supporting the executive because we would like the plan to go through. We would like the government to succeed. But, Honorable Speaker, if there is a problem in this house concerning members, I think it should be brought to the fore so that members can know. Honorable Speaker, since last week, when the pronouncement was made in the devolution conference, we have suffered once more. We suffered after passing the finance bill. We suffered after the broadening of the government. We suffered again after sacking of some members of the CSs, some executive. We've suffered many times. And this is what you are getting in return. It is unfair. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Karoli Omondi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'll try and be very brief, but let me start by saying I take great exception as the statements made by His Excellency the President, now 3 times, attacking the character of everyone in this House, including yourself. We must now take the position of NATO. Mass character assassination we shall not accept. If somebody is guilty, let them be charged on their own. But an attack such as the one that he's made it twice, 3 times. First at the stock exchange, a devolution conference in Homa Bay, and yesterday at our PG. It is so unfortunate that a statement condemning all of us as corrupt extortionists, yet some of us have held the sharp end of the knife to support him, is something that we cannot accept. And Mr. President must either bring the evidence, take those people to court, or apologize and withdraw. And let me also say something. I'm very happy that Chairman Jailak has read out the Constitution. A lot of misinformation and reading of the law upside down happened at our PG yesterday. The allegation that the Senate has no power to oversight the county government has now been debunked. Article 96 sub Article 3 of the Constitution is clear on that. Let me also debunk a few things on the NGCDF. The national government has the power to establish special funds to discharge its functions. And under Article 6, the national government can devolve its functions to the sub-counties, which form a constituency. In a presidential system such as the one we have, there is nothing wrong by the national government having NGCDF as its own fund, funded from the shareable revenue allocated to it. In any event, even if we don't have the NGCDF, the funds for the NGCDF will not be taken to counties. The counties will not receive it. But to make matters worse, the law is being misinterpreted by the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. In a parliamentary system, the members of parliament form the government, the prime minister and his ministers. The members of parliament sit in the executive. They design projects, they implement, they oversight. Let him see what is happening in the House of Lords, in the House of Commons in England. What is happening there? Why can't he say MPs cannot do what we are doing here? That is the wrong application of the law. And yesterday I was very upset because there is state capture in this country. Let this house today, let us look at what is happening at the e-citizens. How many pipes are leaking government revenue to private pockets? Do your work as members of parliament. Let us call them out. Sugar mills were privatized. Workers are being fired. Let us know who took over the sugar mills built by public funds without competition. Let them tell us. I have a question in the floor of this house calling the Minister for Treasury to come and explain to us. Let us take the war to them. Let us take the war to them. If they want, we will give.
Member for Kieni.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. On this hour and this moment, I want to say that this House is under siege for all of us, inclusive, Mr. Speaker. You are in this House to preside over it, and when we are under attack, you are the first person on the line of attack. I really want to say that this is the government, the executive, which we have worked and we have given it our sweat and our blood to make it to where it is now. We have lost properties. We have lost reputation. We have lost credibility in our own constituencies. We have business partners we work with. Whenever we visit them for business, other than the parliament, they see us, we are taking corruption into their own offices. And it is for that purpose, Mr. Speaker, we would want to say that whoever suggests that we are corrupt, they should, and we are not, they should go to the same venue, tell our wives, tell our children, tell our business partners, tell our friends that that was a very erroneous statement that came from none other than the head of state for this country. Because the first question I got when I went home last night from my wife, he wanted to check my pocket if I had any illegal money. And I really want to rest my case that we earn our sweat by offering services to this government through this parliament.
Thank you. Member for Bumula.
Honorable Speaker, I was very shocked yesterday by the sentiments of His Excellency the President.
Members, let's listen to one another.
You will add me some 30 seconds, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the Constitution is very clear. Chapter 8, 9 and 10 is very clear in terms of roles of Parliament, Judiciary and the Executive. This House is self-regulating through the Committees of Powers and Privileges chaired by none other than the Speaker himself. Mr. Speaker, this House has done well. As a National Assembly, we've risen to the occasion. When we called out on Shah, during Adani, now the Committee on PAC has done very well with e-citizen, and my guess is good, because I think that is where the rage is coming from. They have come out to unmask the culprits of e-citizen and how money is being stolen. Honorable Speaker, this House, this floor impeached a minister of government, Honorable Mithika Linturi. We have done well, Honorable Speaker, as a parliament. It is wrong, Honorable Speaker, for a president to say he's fed on raw intelligence, Honorable Speaker, and moves to make such accusations against us. Honorable Speaker, in law, and you know better than me, anybody who becomes aware of a crime and keeps quiet of it is an accomplice. As we speak, the Honorable President is an accomplice, Honorable Speaker. Why was he giving the 10 million shillings?
Order, Wamboka. I referred you to Standing Order 87. You want to discuss the person and conduct of the President? Bring a motion.
Well guided, Honorable Speaker.
Yes. Read your standing orders.
Well guided, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the President has all instruments. The President has all instruments.
Order, Otieno Amolo, what is it? Give Otieno Amolo the mic. What's happened? Move to the...
Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
as you know, I respect your guidance and rulings, but I had intended to bring this letter for your formal guidance on content of speeches. 87.1. Mr. Speaker, it's my understanding that what you cannot discuss is the conduct of the president, but you can discuss his speech. I'd like you to give a ruling on that.
As we sit here, I have no speech from the president to discuss. You know very well, Honorable Tienda Molo, that when the president addresses the House, he makes a speech, and I allow you to debate it for 3 days. As it is here, I have no speech that can guide me on what you should debate. So, Amboka, go on.
There is a thin line, Honorable Speaker, of what we are discussing, but I think the point is made. Our thinking, Honorable Speaker, is someone is trying to get to NGCDF, KERA, Honorable Speaker, and other funds that are devolved through this House, Honorable Speaker, and that is unacceptable, Honorable Speaker. To the extent, Honorable Speaker, that you are a member of Parliament, number one, member of National Assembly, that we see the kind of headlines that we see, like what was there today, Honorable Speaker, add me 2 minutes, I was distorted, Honorable Speaker. Yeah. That we see the kind of headlines today, Honorable Speaker, that's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. You are the champion, you are the head of this House, Honorable Speaker. We will not allow anybody to try and mud you, because that is tantamount to mudding the whole House, Honorable Speaker. As I finish, we are now going to exercise our teeth. We are now going to bite. And Honorable Speaker, as I speak, there is a table a censure motion. It is before you, Honorable Speaker, it's coming. We must now take our rightful position as a National Assembly. It is so painful. Some members of this House, most members have stood with the executive. They have defended the executive. They have suffered because of executive, Honorable Speaker. They have lost their popularity, some of them, presumably because of the executive. And now the same executive want to throw them under the bus. We say no. Wakwende.
Honorable members, I'll now give to Silvanus Osoro, but before he takes the floor, I acknowledge the following. Kipsingay, order. Order, members. Kipsingay Secondary School from Sotik, Bomet. Joska PAG Church, Mavoko, Machakos. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome them to the House of Parliament. Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I first want to confirm that I'm a member of the Jailer Committee. That has really largely been mentioned. Number two, even before I get to the details, Honorable Speaker, on what the Honorable Murugara has said, I also want to associate myself fully with the statements that have been made by the Honorable Karoli Omondi. And I'll be very particular, Honorable Speaker, on one issue even before I get to the second one, on the question of NGCDF and devolution. Honorable Speaker, I think that the vision and the mission of the drafters of the Constitution, and even the people who dreamt about devolution, including Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, they really must have had a very good plan on what devolution is and actual things, what devolution ought to have been. Honorable Speaker, we want to tell them, and I say this with tremendous respect, that kwa ground vitu ni different. That what people think devolution ought to have been or should be is not what it is. There is nothing that is working on the ground as far as devolution is concerned, Honorable Speaker. And that is why in any case, Honorable Speaker, Article 96 should actually be implemented the more. We cannot say that you want the county assembly members be left with the responsibility of oversighting governance. Honorable Speaker, a governor that controls 13 billion shillings a county governor that controls 13 billion shillings cannot be oversighted by an MCA who wants 80,000 shillings, and then they give them 3,000 shillings every day, Honorable Speaker, even to follow them, Honorable Speaker. And that is where we are saying, Honorable Speaker, that we must be very particular, Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, the argument is about this house being declared corrupt. It's not about discussing devolution. The head of the state declared us corrupt. Well, how?
Order, Sane. Honorable Sane. No, don't be harsh on your colleague. Honorable Sane, if you are listening to the debate, you have been talking about two things: the integrity of this house, the fate of devolution, the fate of NGCDF, and the power of the Senate to oversight the counties. All these are entwined into what we are debating.
So, Honorable Speaker, as I was saying, this House, Honorable Speaker, has been under attack from every corner. We've been attacked, Honorable Speaker, by the members, some members of the judiciary. We've been attacked by the members of the public, sometimes being threatened, Honorable Speaker, to have our houses torched, Honorable Speaker. We want to, with tremendous respect, also tell His Excellency the President.
Give him a minute.
We want to tell His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya that now that attacks are coming from all over, I want to inform him, Honorable Speaker, that he should not take the invitation to also join the bandwagon that attacks this House. Because this House, if somebody claims that they brought money to a certain committee or to a particular chair, then especially on a bill that is actually sponsored by the AG from government, then that person should actually be arrested the more, because he is the one picking money from some public side and then to try and bribe the members of parliament, Honorable Speaker. Because this House, Honorable Speaker, has been under attack from every corner. And it should actually not be happening. Today, as we are speaking, Honorable Speaker, people are already complaining about KERA. They want the KERA funds to be reverted to the counties. They want NGCDF to go. But, Honorable Speaker, you will need a microscope to see what governors or county governments are doing, Honorable Speaker, because there is nothing that is being done, Honorable Speaker.
Time up. Time up. Parashina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you also for standing for to be one of the leaders to be counted in this country for defending Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I only also need to comment on three things, or four: doctrine of separation of powers that we saw yesterday, and we need to remind the executive we don't work under their mercy. Number two is yesterday I witnessed executive, that's the president, lecturing members of Parliament, trying to create intimidation. We want to tell him that we are not going to go through intimidation here or outside. We will continue doing our duties without being coerced. We also need to remind the executive through the president and Mr. Raila that he should respect Parliament every time. He is leading executive, judiciary should be respected, and Parliament should be respected. Suggestions that Mr. Speaker came, which also brought yesterday, is about us in the committee. They alluded that when we summon state agencies or even PSs or ministers, they say that we keep asking them for money. Then the question is, how are we going to do our oversight role, if at all? They are saying that we are looking for money. It is our duty to do our oversight role, and I can tell them it is no longer going to be business as usual. And the last one is an independent investigation. If possible, let the president or this House establish an independent investigation where the executive can submit evidence where this House has been involved in corruption. But we cannot allow it, like saying a port. How can a port say that the pan is black? It is not possible. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Jane Kagiri.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to contribute to the discussion. Honorable Speaker, my English teacher always told us, before you skin a dog, you give it a bad name. Honorable Speaker, today, I feel that is actually what is happening. We all know that CDF, NGCDF, and GAF are under siege. And because of that, Honorable Speaker, that is why it is found right for an attack of members of parliament, for them to give us a bad name. Honorable Speaker, I would just want to remind this Honorable House, and inclusive of anybody who contests for a position, that is including the presidency, that it is based on performance that we get re-elected. And even for the presidency, should be well noted that the performance of NGCDF, the performance of NGAF, will also count for their performance at the end of the 5 years. So, Honorable Speaker, we need NGCDF respected, we need NGAF respected, and Honorable Speaker, let it go on record that members of parliament make decisions based on their own minds and based on what they want to do for their people. So nobody is here to be helped to decide based on the money that they receive. We make decisions because we want the best for our people, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Daud.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, let me also declare that I'm a member of JLAC, and they have not received any of the monies that has been paraded around. Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank the President on one thing. He has reminded us that we need to do our work. We have not been doing our work because we have been supporting the executive. Whenever things come here, we have always been supporting them. I think, Mr. Speaker, sir, the bill that is being, the act that the President mentioned, the anti-money laundering, was sponsored by the leader of majority. Actually, we should not even start with the President. We should ask the leader of majority whether he bribed the committee, the JLAC committee, and how much he has given us. The second thing, Mr. Speaker, if the bill, if that act was procured through bribery, then that act should be repealed and brought back to this House so that we can act on it again without the bribery. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Karemba. Yes, I'll come to you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, allow me to say that I am happy and upset at the same time. I am happy because of this conversation, because I believe, Honorable Speaker, the dragon that needs to be slayed in this country is the dragon of corruption. What is stealing the future of our country, Honorable Speaker, is corruption. And it is okay if this conversation is started by the President or any other person. But, Honorable Speaker, I am upset because of this wholesale condemnation of Parliament. Because a person like me, Honorable Speaker, you are well aware that it's just the other day that I joined the JLAC committee. And I am now branded as perhaps one of the people who have already received the money. And, Honorable Speaker, it is very wrong for anyone to do this kind of condemnation on members of Parliament. But I believe it is for a few reasons. One, it must be that they are coming for CDF and for RMLF. It is for that reason. Two, it must be that they want to salvage their political aspirations at the expense of the members. They must have realized that many members perhaps are unpopular, and so they want to throw them under the bus. And it is unacceptable, having benefited from the support of the members, that now they want to sacrifice the members. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Kibagendi. Osero, you are not Kibagendi, are you?
He borrows my name sometimes.
Order. You are known in this House as Osero. Take your seat.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. It is the classic case of the skunk calling the pig stinky. The President, who himself bears responsibility for questionable governance decisions, add gravely in issuing a blanket condemnation of this august House. While Parliament is not without flaws, indeed, dismissing it wholesome is unfortunate by the head of state and hypocritical and an affront to the very democratic institution that gives legitimacy to the presidency. Constructive criticism is welcome, but scapegoating an entire arm of government for failures that cut across the executive is both disingenuous and dangerous for our country. The president needs, going forward, to do proper investigations. He said he gets information from NIS and DCI. He needs to do proper investigations before he can condemn the entire House. But again, sometimes we have to tell those who call us names that they need to look in the mirror. Kenyans know that the temple of corruption is actually State House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Lel Mengit.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would also want to echo my sentiments on this case. Honorable Speaker, first, I would like to apologize to this Honorable House. Because a few years, Honorable Speaker, when I was in the university, I used to call the members here pigs. I was among those people who called the honorable members pigs because of the notion and the negativity out there, Honorable Speaker. Now, Honorable Speaker, I sit in this position as a member of Parliament, and now the ball is on my court. Honorable Speaker, I have realized that there is an enormous task bestowed to these honorable members, all the way as representatives, legislators, and oversighting responsibility. Honorable Speaker, I want to state this categorically, that even on the issues of NGCDF, as part of the representative duty that we do as honorable members, we cannot find substantive projects across the constituency or in the county governments that have been done by the county governments. Honorable Speaker, it's in my entire ward, Kilibwani ward constituency, I cannot find any single project that was done by the county governments. Only projects that have been done through the NGCDF money can be appreciated by the people out there. Honorable Speaker, I want to mention this, that even in the case whereby in the future we might have a elected president similar to the, I don't want to mention names, but the president who will be giving resources basing on the shareholding basis, probably other counties and other regions of this country will be discriminated. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to mention and also to echo that this is an honorable house. We do our work perfectly, and we uphold our duty and integrity as members of Parliament. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Donald Watch. I see you on the screen, or you are not? Okay, Millie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, if there is one person I admire is Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And the reason I admire Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is because he's a person who stands on principle. And even if he's the only man standing, he will remain standing on principle. Mr. Speaker, I have learned from the best. And that is why I stand on principle like the person I admire, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, and urge my party leader to listen to the ground on NGCDF. Mr. Speaker, I also want to urge my party leader that there is one thing I've admired about him, which is equality and fairness. Mr. Speaker, what is coming out of this house is that he's looking at governors more favorably than he's looking at members of Parliament, which is Senate and National Assembly. We are all your children. Look at all of us favorably. Mr. Speaker, I want to speak to should I one day be unfortunate to be the president, because it's not a happy occasion to be president, but should I be unhappy to be president of this republic, one thing I cannot take for granted, if I got that opportunity, is the support of parliament. If you are a president, do not take for granted the support of parliament. If in doubt, ask Honorable Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Mr. Speaker, finally, on corruption, there is demand and there is supply side. We have had, and we keep hearing a lot on supposed or alleged demand. As a governance expert, tell us the supply side. If you are serious about dealing with corruption that is bedeviling this country, let us look at demand and the supply side. And as a Christian, Mr. Speaker, I want to remind us that I was taught a song. Kila mtu atauchukua mzigo wake mwenyewe, na kila mtu atapewa habari zake mwenyewe mbele za Mungu, siku hiyo itakuja. Individual responsibility.
Thank you. Honorable Rindikiri Murwitania.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order, honorable members.
I want to
One may think that Millie is out of order. The reason I've allowed her is I've treated it as a quote in a speech. Anything beyond that should have been out of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I associate myself with the sentiment expressed by the chairman of JILAC. Mr. Speaker, in other forums, I am the president of Democracy and Good Governance in the International Conference of the Great Lake Region. Mr. Speaker, democracy dictates that we express ourselves anyhow. But good governance is a responsibility of each one of us. Mr. Speaker, the executive has a responsibility. The legislature, we have a responsibility. The judiciary has a responsibility. Mr. Speaker, we are equal partners. We are not lesser of the responsibility that we have been given. Mr. Speaker, the advantage of the executive can be good, can also be bad. Mr. Speaker, the last parliament and many majority members who are in the last parliament, we know we were called names. We were called collapse. This is not a new thing. The last regime, the past regime, called the members of this parliament collapse. Actually, bad names were used against us. Mr. Speaker, now we are being called collapse. Each person, if we are to apply the principles of good governance, we must exercise what these principles are. One, the rule of law. The rule of law dictates that when something is wrong, the law takes precedence. Mr. Speaker, I want to imagine that the president knows this, and I'm sure he knows. Let him subject all of us who have been found to be capable of being corrupt to the rule of law. It's as simple as that. Mr. Speaker, transparency is very key in leadership. Mr. Speaker, we cannot be all accused en masse without giving evidence. Mr. Speaker, the executive need to be held accountable, to become clear, to become transparent on what he is talking about, members of parliament being corrupt. Mr. Speaker, the presidency is private to intelligent information, and nothing prevents him from proclaiming the people that have been found to be corrupt. Mr. Speaker, I want to disassociate myself with the fact that this parliament is corrupt.
Mbeyu.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nahuzunika sana. Haya maneno yalitokea kwa viongozi wetu wakuu jana, ni jambo la kusikitisha. Na hasa nikisikia upande wa kuondolewa pesa za NGCDF na ni pamoja na ngafu. tufikirie sisi kama wabunge, majina tumepewa, lakini hawa wabunge hawana shida kama wale wananchi wetu waliweza kutupigia kura pale. Wale wananchi wanategemea NGCDF, wanategemea ngafu, watoto wao wasome, watoto wao waende chuo kikuu, miradi ifanywe, shule zijengwe. Na mheshimu sana baba Raila Amolo Odinga, lakini kwa hili atufikirie sisi, na mimi wakilifi, wale wa mama wajane walioamka saa 10 kwenda kupiga kura ya Mbeyu, machungwa 6. Wataniuliza mimi niwaambie nini? Siwezi kulipa fee, niko na mradi wa full scholarship. Watoto maskini wanategemea hizi pesa walipiwe fee. Sisi ndo tunaenda kuteseka, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mbali na ile kejeli yote ya kupewa haya majina, ni wale watoto maskini wa Kenya wanategemea pesa za NGCDF kujikimu pale mashinani. Tutawajibu nini? Sisi tutawaambia nini? Tunataka kurudi na hakuna pesa za kuwasaidia. Tutatetea vipi? Kura inakuja, bado miaka 2. Ngafu haiko. Kama zile pesa mabilioni yanaenda kwa counties na hakuna alama pale, health status mbaya, ya education imeshindikana, ile ya ECD, mambo ya maji shida, wakilimbikiziwa hizi pesa kama zile ndogo zimeshindikana pale kwa counties, wakiongezwa za NGCDF maeneo bunge 7, 8 na ile ya Nairobi iliyo na maeneo bunge mengi, wataweza vipi kutuonyesha kazi inafanyika? Alafu sisi tutakuja hapa, Mheshimiwa Speaker, tuwe flower girls sisi women rep na wale wa mama wengine kunywa chai tu, tutakuwa tuko kibaruani. Lakini yule mtoto wa maskini wa Kenya atafanya nini? Atapiga kura vipi? Apigie nini? Na tumaini gani? Lazima viongozi wetu wafikirie, ni kesho kutwa tu wataitisha kura, hatutaweza kujisaidia, hatutaweza kutetea mtu. Mbeyu nitajitetea mimi na watu wangu maskini. Asante Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Omboko Milemba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think this is a very great opportunity from the President and the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga to call out Parliament. And this is a great opportunity for the 13th Parliament to take this opportunity to actually deal with the elephant of corruption. You don't underrate when Raila Amolo Odinga stands up and says something. You don't underrate when President Ruto rises up to say something. And therefore, the way we deal with this matter will be very important, and the 13th Parliament has been given this opportunity. If we deal with it in a manner of only lamenting or threatening other organs and moving away from it, we shall lose it. The correct way to deal with this matter is to dissect it squarely, the way the chair did put it. That we establish a commission, we establish a parliamentary committee, we establish within our own standing orders a unit that will investigate this matter to the very end. Remember, the person who spoke to this, who is the President, has intelligence, and I hear, though I did not attend the meeting, that he did indicate that he gets this raw intelligence. And then this would roll out to every other sector, including the executive and other players. If there's anything that Kenyans are crying of, is corruption. And if we are being mentioned on this wholesomely, we have to dissect it squarely and then move to the other players within the executive. Are you aware that there could be executive members who could go to the president and pick money, say they're taking that money to parliament, and they come here, they don't give money, and that thing could be going on. This could be a bigger scheme which this House can now take and look into the details. For instance, Parliament has been standing with the executive. How much money did you receive when you did pass the housing bill? How much money did you receive when you passed SHA? How much money did you receive when you did deal with finance bill? And many other bills that we have dealt with. So we need to deal with these things squarely. There are many other issues that we do pass here. And if we go that direction, we shall save the Kenyans. We shall actually start dealing with the elephant of corruption, still beginning with this House and then rolling it out. I am also sad that there's and constitutional statements that are being pronounced very quickly. Look at this. We need to defend the Constitution and the independence of this House. When you talk about the lack of Senate's role in counties, mark that. It needs to be dealt with by this House. When you talk about CDF, I don't want to belabor on this one because it has been thoroughly flogged. But look at this. There's another one flowing down ourselves, that we need to devolve education. Look at what health is happening. And it also came from the two leaders. I think it was Raila Amolo Odinga that we devolve education. Health is dead. We are now speaking of devolving education to the counties. We shall not have education. So this is a very good opportunity. But look at this. Independence of the House.
Time is up. Give him 30 seconds.
Independence of this House can only be protected by this House. When you teach the students who are up there, you tell them that the House is independent and no any other unit, no any other body can make a law. That's what we teach. I'm a teacher. But look at this now. How many bills are we getting being referred back to the House under the article which requires that you raise 2/3 majority? Those are issues that this parliament must now stand on and make good law.
David Ocheng.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've been here long enough to know that every time we've had a bipartisan initiative, this House suffers. I remember in the 11th Parliament, when the President and Raila came together that time on IBC, we were brought here one afternoon, we were told, pass these bills, no removal of a comma, no full stop being removed. When BBI came, the same thing. Now we have this opportunity, and I thought this would be used to bring the country together and fight these ills together. Corruption has been pointed out as the biggest ill we've had. And all those initiatives, the one of Uhuru and Raila, the one now, corruption was at the forefront to be fought. But it disheartens me, Mr. Speaker, for the President to come before members of Parliament and tell us that he knows that a governor gave people money. He knows that an MP was given money. And those governors and those MPs are not arrested. What does he want us to do? Are we police? If you're the president and you know those who are stealing, why don't you arrest them? Why do you come to tell us? What do I have to do with it? You are the president. You are saying you want to fight corruption. And you know those who are stealing. What are you waiting for? Is it our business? Everyone should carry out their functions. This president gave us a finance bill. That was very unpopular. We passed it for him. This president gave us a housing levy. Very unpopular. We passed it for him. This president has asked us to pass SHA. We sat here until 10 p.m. Passed it for him. What have we done for him? What has this parliament not done for president that he now has to come and bastardize us? What? Let him do his job. And why he's also involved in corruption, we'll follow him. You can't come and name everyone else be corrupt as if yourself you're very clean. It doesn't work like that. We have one country. We must all protect this country. We won't allow. We are not begging for CDF. We don't use CDF money ourselves. We're not begging for CDF to be kept. Senate should not beg to carry out his functions. It is not the job of Raila to tell us what the law says. It can't be. This House must take back seriously going forward. And if there's a PS or a minister stealing money, let us deal with them. But we can't allow people to come and start reading for us Riot Act as if themselves they are very clean. This parliament must reclaim its place in history.
Give him 30 seconds.
So, Speaker, I was very happy yesterday with our leadership. Because you cannot go before governors, abuse us, insult us, then call us. Instead of telling us why you called us, you start lecturing us on matters that you should deal with personally. So, Speaker, I want to request our leaders today, leadership of Parliament. Let's deal with the issue the President has raised, but let's not be beggars. CDF, we must sit here as members of Parliament make sure that CDF is entered in the Constitution. We can't allow people who don't sit in Parliament to control what we do in this Parliament, Mr. Speaker. It's wrong, and we must deal with it.
Thank you. Your time is up. Ferdinand Wanyonyi.
The Speaker, I just want to take this very seriously. I'm doing my 3rd term in this House. And this House must be respected. Members who are here, I want to tell you, you actually have lost, you are losing your integrity out there. And our discussion here, Mr. Speaker, is not because we are defending ourselves. It's because of these allegations. I would have expected head of state to call us in the Kamukunji privately and expose to us, telling us exactly what he has heard. But instead, actually, we have been exposed. I want to take this opportunity and say whatever allegations have been given to us. Mr. Speaker, you actually, for your own sake, you actually, because you are oversight here, your name is also going to be, be there. In fact, as you go out there, people are now dismissing us. I remember just 2 days ago, I gave out money, and they were saying, you are a millionaire. So I think as far as I'm concerned, if there was anything that was bad, an allegation that actually I've heard, even the Right Honorable Oginga Odinga out there, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, I think I was so shocked. And he said that even we have no job. We are not supposed to do what we are doing. And yet he knows constitutionally our role here as Kenyans, as members of parliament. I want to take this opportunity and ask you, Honorable Speaker, get the head of state to come here and tell the Kenyans out there that that was wrong. That whatever he said was out of order, and that so that people can, otherwise you go out there, what are people talking about us? It's bad out there. So I want to take this opportunity and request you, in your capacity, tell the head of state to come to this house and whatever he said, he apologizes, because it's actually affecting us as leaders of this country. I think, members, that's what it is. Because out there, if you want to come back, I can tell you, it's not going to be easy. Because you are rich, you are poor, you don't take money out here because you are bribed and you are not giving money to the people out there. So, Mr. Speaker, I think I want to ask you, kindly get head of state here to come and tell this house so the Kenyans can hear that he was wrong. I think, members, actually, you agree with me. You agree with me. Let Ruto come here and tell the whole country that it was wrong for him to say what he has said. And if he's relying on Oginga Odinga for his re-election,
Oginga Odinga died in 1994. Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi. I was in this house with the late Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, and he died in 1994. Yes, thank you. Chonga.
Asante mstahiki Spika kunipa nafasi hii. Matamshi niliyasikia yakitoka kutoka kwa rais yalikuwa ni ya kuvunja moyo, si kwa wabunge lakini hata kwa nchi nzima. Ifikapo wakati ambapo kwamba baba anasema ameshindwa na watoto, ni kumaanisha kwamba hiyo jamii imeangamia. Palipo na kosa ambapo kwamba mtoto amekosea, baba anatakana asimame na aweze kupeana mwelekeo. Nchi nzima, ulimwengu mzima, ukitaja mambo ya ufisadi, Kenya tunapewa position. Kuna mahali Kenya inaonekana kwa upande wa ufisadi. Ufisadi ule ni wabunge ndio wao wamefanya ufisadi ule. Mbona tusichukue nafasi na wakati wa kujua exactly shida iko wapi? Ni jambo la kuhuzunisha. Nimemsikia mwenzangu hapa akizungumza ya kwamba jana akifika nyumbani bibi yake anamwangalia mifuko. Mimi nimetoka mashinani, Mheshimiwa Spika, nasikia njaa, Lakini bibi yangu swali la kwanza ananiuliza, huu maskini tuko nao wa nini? Kiwa nyinyi mnabeba mabilioni haya yote huko nje, unapeleka wapi? Uko na bibi mwingine? Uko na warembo? Ama hii pesa inaenda wapi? Ile nafasi ya kuitwa mheshimiwa mstahiki spika, sasa hiyo uheshimiwa umeshatoka. Tumekuwa wadharauliwa. Mbali na hayo yote ambayo kwamba sisi tunapambana nayo, tukitetea hususan serikali ya Mheshimiwa Rais Ruto. Mimi hapo nyuma, Mheshimiwa Spika, ulikuwa unanijua. Nikisimama mimi nilikuwa najua napeleka mawe yangu wapi. Nimepunguza utambi kwa sababu tunataka Kenya ionekane moja. Kenya isonge kwa agenda zile ambazo kwamba zinastahili. Lakini je, leo hii Mheshimiwa Spika, unataka mimi nikatetee serikali yenye inanidhulumu kuniita mimi mwizi? Tuko wabunge hapa wengine, hata ukiangalia hiyo kote amevaa ni 10,000. Iwapo kwamba kweli tunapewa pesa hizi ambazo tunapewa, mbunge anaweza kuvaa vibaya namna ile? Mheshimiwa Spika, ni jambo la aibu, ni jambo la kuelewesha. Pia mimi naunga mkono ya kwamba sisi ni tegemeo la rais, tunahitaji atuombe msamaha. Bila hivyo kila mtu atabeba msalaba wake, kama vile Millie Odhiambo alivyosema. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Sane.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You have always stood to support the dignity of this House. Mr. Speaker, the former President Uhuru Kenyatta was on record having said that his government is always daily losing 2 billion shillings in corruption. Corruption is widespread in the executive than is being betrayed. Parliament is non-corrupt, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, 2 words were being used. Extortion is a dirty word. It means getting money forcibly. Better corruption. Corruption means using your office or your power to at least get something. So it was very rude, unacceptable, unpalatable to call us extortionists, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the President, Parliament, tribunals, and the judiciary laterally enjoy delegated powers as per the Constitution. There are separation of powers, and we must respect each other, Mr. Speaker. The Speaker of this Parliament is the Right Honorable Wetangula, and he deserves respect. He leads a team of members. You must be respected, and by extension, we deserve that respect. We conduct business as per the procedures and the Constitution, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have been behaving as if we were conveyor belts for the executive. We have been called to State House, been lectured on government policy, and we have never let down the government of the day in making sure policies were executed and laws were being acted. Mr. Speaker, we have been reprimanded most of the time using the Political Parties Act, that when we speak our mind, we were being told you will be whipped, you will face sanctions. I think it is time to revisit the Political Parties Act so that members exercise their discretion and their right to represent their constituents. We can no longer represent others but the people of Kenya, the sovereign, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for your kindness.
Unite. We have the last 10 minutes. I gave you 5, I gave you Chunga 5.
Mr. Speaker, I want to start from the onset by saying that he who alleges must prove. He who alleges must do what? Must prove, Mr. Speaker. So the burden of proof are with the people who have alleged, not with us at all. Mr. Speaker, Parliament is an institution in this country that has been created by the Constitution. And Parliament, Mr. Speaker, operates under the Constitution. It's an arm of government that every Kenyan who thinks of leadership aspires to be, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have said on this floor before that people think coming to Parliament is an easy thing. If all of them could try to contest for a seat, even for an MCA seat, that is when they will know what an election means. How difficult it is to come to this house, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, look at the number of people who come out, or the number of people who show interest in every constituency to become members of Parliament. There are more than 10 in every constituency. But the people of Kenya, in their own wisdom, decide to bring one person to this house, Mr. Speaker, at a time. So, Mr. Speaker, that is why members of Parliament are given the title of honorable. It's earned. You earn the title by getting first elected by the people. Then that's when you deserve to be called a honorable member. But, Mr. Speaker, people cannot demonize the institution of Parliament as a whole. If you have a problem with someone, you say it. You say, I have a problem with this and that person. But you cannot demonize the whole institution of Parliament, Mr. Speaker. Because this institution is in place to serve Kenyans. This is an institution that has direct mandate in exercising sovereignty of the people. Sovereignty belongs to the people. It can be exercised directly or through their elected representatives, Mr. Speaker. An elected representative of the people, other than the MCS, are only found in Parliament. All other, and the president who is also elected. But, Mr. Speaker, all the other people who are operating in this country, in these offices, are all exercising delegated mandates. So, Mr. Speaker, my position is, as the leadership of this House, Mr. Speaker, as the minority leader, Mr. Speaker, we will defend Parliament to death. We will defend Parliament to the last breath, Mr. Speaker. We will not sit down when people want to degrade Parliament or they want to use Parliament as a punching bag, Mr. Speaker, as a bogeyman, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, corruption is a menace in the whole country. It has permeated the whole society. There is corruption in the executive, there is corruption in the judiciary, there is corruption in Parliament. Mr. Speaker, there is a way to address the fight about corruption. It is not a wholesome condemnation of a whole group of people who are serving Kenyans, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of the NC, Mr. Speaker, can you tell this man to leave me alone so I can speak? He has spoken his, and he's opening a Kamukunji here of what kind of, I don't know what Kamukunji it is. Mr. Speaker, I'm even losing my thoughts because when you are disrupted by NGCDF, Mr. Speaker, I want to take, as a minority leader, responsibility to go and persuade my party leader to leave that position he has taken on the NGCF. Mr. Speaker, you know, there is a notion that people think CDF is still doing the same work it was doing when it was started. CDF has changed. CDF now is only doing functions that are not devolved. It's doing functions that belong to national government. Education, security issues, and issues that are related to national government. CDF is not doing any devolved function. They are not doing county government functions. Even if, a member said here, even if, the members have said, Mr. Speaker, people have said that CDF is, even if it's not given to members of Parliament, that fund will not go to county government. It's money that is given to members of Parliament after DORA. We do the division of revenue. Money is separated into devolved functions and national functions. This money is coming from the national fund.
Chep Konga wants to inform you. Do you want information?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. You know, it's...
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to inform the minority leader that the Supreme Court, in fact, on the 15th of August, 2025, a few days ago, rejected the application of the Senate to review the orders of the Supreme Court, which declared that NGCDF does not concern counties. And it was completely rejected. And so it has nothing to do with counties. It cannot go to the Senate. It can only be enacted in this House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
What's happened to the mic?
Mr. Speaker, I want to say this, that I agree with Honorable Chepkonga, that CDF has got nothing to do with the devolution. CDF, if this fund is not sent to constituencies, the national government can send it to county commissioners. They can say, county commissioners, go and build schools, go and build dams, chief's offices. Nothing stops the national government from taking this money to anybody they can even take it to chiefs. Chiefs can go and build even their offices themselves. So, Mr. Speaker, first we have to acknowledge that this fund has nothing to do with devolution. It's not taking money that belongs to devolved entities, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, lastly, I want to say that, only important people are normally bashed. When you see the president accusing us of many things, or by my party leader, they know how important this house is. That is why let us not also take them very serious. Because, you know why I'm saying that? Because everything also they want to do must come through this house. Even if for you to dissolve this NGCDF, there must be some work to be done here in Parliament. Who is going to do it? So, Mr. Speaker, let them have their say. We are going to have our way. That's the position. Let us give them the freedom to have their say, and we also have our way. But what we know, Mr. Speaker, corruption is not peculiar to Parliament. Corruption, if it is corruption everywhere, and it must be fought in that manner. But if you want to make it sectional, Mr. Speaker, then you lose the war on corruption. But finally, Mr. Speaker, my final word is that let us come together. Let us do our functions of oversight, representation, and legislation. Mr. Speaker, we have legislated the last 2-3 years under your leadership in this House. We have passed many, and we have the power of the pass. It is us who decide which fund goes to where, as this House, Mr. Speaker. There is no taxation without representation. We have all the powers, Mr. Speaker, and the executive cannot operate without Parliament. They can go and say whatever they want to say outside there, but everything they will do must go through this House. Mr. Speaker, if there are allegations of corruption on anyone among us, everybody will carry his own cross. So there is no need of condemning the whole House as a group, Mr. Speaker. With those few members, Mr. Speaker, I want to say, members, don't be annoyed. We will deal with these people perpendicularly. We know how to deal with them. Just keep quiet.
Majority Leader, what is your point of order, Millie?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to interrupt the Majority Leader. But, Mr. Speaker, when Honorable Njenjeri has come to the House, and I know because she fears her political leaning nowadays has stopped her from speaking. But can you use your standing order number 1, especially for a lady who is young and who is emulating me, just to declare that she's exceptionally well dressed?
Order, Honorable Millie Odhiambo. The Speaker can only rule you improperly dressed. I have no capacity to declare the excellence of your dress. Majority Leader, go on.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Order, Jerry. The Speaker has no capacity to say exceptional dressing.
Millie has a very sharp eye. Honorable Njeri passed just in front of me here, and I hadn't noticed, unfortunately. Honorable Speaker, let me join members and maybe just start off from where Junet has stopped.
I think the only exception I see is that the gracious lady is wearing something that looks like a cheetah. Or a leopard.
You can be certain, Honorable Speaker, if she was here earlier, yes, she would never have recognized any of the footballers that you are mentioning from back those days. Just like the Honorable Joseph was asking who are those the Speaker is mentioning. Because they were not born by then, Honorable Speaker. But that is the beauty of this House, Honorable Speaker. And it tells you that in this House, Honorable Speaker, we have men and women, as Honorable Juneta said, who have been elected by the people to come and represent them and oversight government on behalf of the people. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, when we oversight the executive and the judiciary, because we have that singular role as enshrined in this Constitution, we don't do it as a favor to anybody. not to the president, not as a favor to those serving in the executive. We do it on behalf of the people. Therefore, I want first to encourage members that nothing and nobody should instill fear in you in doing your work as members of parliament. Because you are duly elected by the people of Kenya to exercise oversight even over the executive, even the office of the president, and even the president himself. That is why this House has powers under this constitution to impeach those in the executive, and those in the executive can do nothing to remove you from this House. Absolutely nothing. Because that is how we crafted our constitution, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have listened to many of the contributions, and let me take particular interest to what the Honorable ksh10M said. That we have a Powers and Privileges Committee in this House, Honorable Speaker, which fortunately is chaired by none other than yourself. This Powers and Privileges Committee has the powers and a singular mandate to receive complaints, as Honorable ksh10M said, from whatever quarter against any member of parliament who may engage in any manner of impropriety, whether within the precincts of parliament or outside parliament, Honorable Speaker. It is not fair to condemn the House in its entirety, Honorable Speaker. We have young members like Honorable Njeri, Honorable Joseph, who just joined this House the other day, Honorable Speaker. We have older members like the Honorable Kainan, the father of the House, who has been here for a long time, and yourself, Honorable Speaker. When this House is condemned, you are condemned. The Honorable Kainan is being condemned. The Honorable Njeri and Joseph here are being condemned. Honorable Speaker, if there are people who have suffered, I am among those people who have suffered immensely from this condemnation. I was a sponsor of that bill the Honorable Murugara was speaking about as leader of the majority. I saw yesterday when figures of 150 million shillings were mentioned that relate to the Senate. There are people who went on social media to say, oh, that is the 150 million Kimani Ichung'wah used to purchase I don't know what where, Honorable Speaker. No, this time they didn't mention a chopper, they were mentioning shares I invested in a bank. But I have invested an investment I have made, Honorable Speaker, from money I have borrowed from our own parliamentary circle and my other circle in Muhasibu. Fortunately, Honorable Speaker, when they banded those stories, thinking they are maligning me, the share price of NHIF has risen by 2 shillings. And therefore that investment, by the very essence of their maligning stories, has gone up. And today I can liquidate them, pay off my loan, and walk home with a clean, tidy amount, tidy sum. But you cannot vilify me for that. Nobody should vilify any member of parliament because they are members of parliament, Honorable Speaker. When we vilify one person in this House unfairly, we are vilifying the institution of parliament. And we must protect and defend as strongly as we can the integrity, not of even ourselves as individuals, but of the institution of parliament. Because this institution is there to oversight. And we cannot have... Honorable Speaker, I was saying we cannot have meaningful oversight over the executive if we are seen to be beyond reproach, Honorable Speaker. Let us use our Powers and Privileges Committee to ensure, Honorable Speaker, if by any chance there is any one of us, and I say any one of us, Honorable Speaker, including myself, who, Honorable Speaker, as the Swahili would say, aliye na tuhuma yoyote, let them be before the Powers and Privileges Committee and also before the investigative agencies like EACC, so that they may take action so that we protect the institution of parliament, Honorable Speaker. 2, Honorable Speaker, on the question of what is provided for in Article 94 to 96 of our Constitution, and I don't want to repeat what has been said about the powers of the House, in our sister House in the Senate, to oversight national revenue that is going to the counties. I think it is a matter, and I said it yesterday, Honorable Speaker, in that meeting, that it is a matter that is explicitly provided for in the Constitution. We cannot amend this Constitution by vilifying the institutions of parliament, whether it is the National Assembly or the Senate. Let us just purpose to live by the tenets of this constitution. Honorable Speaker, NGCDF. Again, NGCDF is vilified and attacked in this fashionable thing to attack members of parliament. NGCDF does not belong to members of parliament. The Kikuyu NGCDF does not belong to Kimani Ichung'wah. Neither does the Eldasa NGCDF belong to the Honorable Kainan Mohammed. Aden Kainan. Honorable Speaker, NGCDF belongs to the people of Kenya, to the constituents who have elected us to come and represent them here. We oversight NGCDF just like any other fund in government. Honorable Speaker, when the to their sittings, they called my fund manager and the board officials here, the board CEO, NGCDF board CEO. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, we must also protect NGCDF, not for our own sake, not because we have anything to do with NGCDF, because it has everything to do with delivery of public goods and services to the people who have elected us to represent them, Honorable Speaker. And let me just conclude by saying, Honorable Speaker, we would have no business being the people's representatives if we have nothing that we can oversight those that have been charged by the people of Kenya to hold public funds in their trust. Then we have no business being members of parliament if we can't oversight. We will have no business being members of parliament if you will be able to go to your constituency. You find at a time like now when it is cold and rainy, a school latrine has sunk or a roof has been blown away, and you cannot influence anything, Honorable Speaker, with the NGCDF committees to ensure that you make good the lives of the people who have elected you. We must protect NGCDF with our blood and our souls, Honorable Speaker, in this House. We must. And we must tell everybody, Honorable Speaker, even those who are in the county governments, Honorable Speaker, and we have said it numerously, we are not in competition with the county governments. NGCDF, as Chepkonga has said, the new NGCDF Act of 2015 makes it very clear what role NGCDF plays in education, in security, Honorable Speaker. We amended the Act here the other day, Honorable Speaker, to even remove the contentious issues that were there before, like sports, and we removed them, Honorable Speaker, because we want to live and abide by what is provided for in this Constitution. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, let me say, we must, as a House, stand together, stand strong, and walk with our heads high, Honorable Speaker, if you have nothing to be suspicious of anything you do. Finally, Honorable Speaker, let me ask ourselves, the things we say, the things we do out there also portray something of us. The things that were said here of the finance bill last year, Honorable Speaker, that members were being paid to vote this and that, Honorable Speaker, those are the things that lower the dignity, and we keep saying, lower the dignity of this House and entertain even those who are vilifying and entertaining things being said against us, Honorable Speaker. I beg, Honorable Speaker, to end there, and thank you.
Honorable members, let me thank you as a House, particularly the Honorable Murugara and Honorable Wandeto, for having found it within their powers and necessary to bring the statement and the motion which I didn't approve, but which I informed the House and allowed Honorable Wandeto to have the first bite. Honorable members, as your Speaker, I shall always be your first and last line of defense to your integrity and to the dignity of this House. I want to encourage us, in the words of the Honorable Minority Leader, as leaders, we cannot insulate ourselves from criticism, both fair and unfair, because that's the cost of leadership. When you are in leadership, you fall under the category of what one writer says, that when you meet people, 30% will like you without even hearing anything from you or knowing who you are. 30% will hate you without knowing who you are or hearing anything from you. It is now up to you to convince the remaining 40% to like you or to hate you. That is the paradox of life. And I want to encourage us as a house of leadership to be above irritations, to be above any temptations to have a short fuse on issues, because you are leaders. And when you are a leader, you cannot sit there and expect to hear only things that please you. You also hear things that don't please you. And sometimes when we hear things that don't please us, they raise us to a higher calling to ensure that things are done differently. I also advise that when something is said against you, if it is not true, you ignore it. If it is true, you do something about it. Then we move on. There was a very high state of anxiety and anger. Many members called your speaker, expressing displeasure, expressing anger, and wondering what direction we are headed. But that we have had an opportunity to speak. And to those who haven't spoken, I'm sorry, the time was not enough. We can't all speak on the same subject. And to members like the Honorable Salasia, when we have a motion like this, the Speaker gives priority to members who are regularly here. If you are not regularly in the House, you are unlikely to get the favor of the Speaker to speak simply because this is topical. There are members who sit here for hours waiting to speak. Sometimes they don't even get the opportunity to speak. Those are my priority. If Dr. Nyikal was in the country, I know he's out in Japan. He's like the new Martin Shikuku. The Speaker always found Martin Shikuku in the House and left him in the House. And for the entire afternoon, you'll never see Martin Shikuku even responding to a call of nature. He'll just be sitting there doing the business. So I encourage you, young Salasia, spend more time here. You'll catch the Speaker's eye when matters. But if you choose to prosecute parliamentary business on TikTok, then the House will deal with matters differently. I want to say this, honorable members, as we come to a conclusion of this. I think Jeanette said it very well. Everybody has their say, you have your way under the Constitution. You hold the power of the past, you legislate. Even the next motion is going to deal with your authority over an executive order that is not in compliance with the law. That is the power you have. And that's the power the Constitution has given you. So I want to urge all of us here that our integrity must be beyond reproach. We must be like Caesar's wife, whom nobody could suspect. And I want to say, honorable members, that given what has been said, what you know, and what goes on, this House has sufficient mechanisms under the Constitution and under the law, whether it's conflict of interest law, whether it's leadership and integrity law, whether it is powers and privileges law, or anti-money laundering, all those to handle issues that come before us. And I want to assure you that I have received some letters about members that I would have presented to the agencies on different things. Sometimes I call you, I talk to you, and you correct your ways. Let's also uphold our integrity. I have given you an opportunity this afternoon. Waswahili wanasema muue mkala, lakini haki yake mpe. And by giving you haki yenu, you have exercised your right of reply in the matter. So I want to encourage us that let's now lower the anger, be the leaders that we are, and transact the business of the House in the manner we always do. I know that some members who are not happy, and rightly so, because if you are not within the bracket of those who are bent, and you say everybody's bent, then you create serious issues. You know, in my community, we say there's no little stream that does not have a snake. Every stream has its snake. And like Parliament, we probably also have our snake. Yes, we will probably also have our snake. So the leaders, Ichungwa and your group, Juneta and your group, have regular get-together. Luckily, this matter comes at a time when we are retreating with the entire leadership of the House to Mombasa tomorrow. And among other things, we will also have a colloquium with the judiciary to discuss about our relationship so that we can also face each other and ask each other hard questions. If you have time, watch a movie called The Star Chamber. The Star Chamber, where beyond formal decisions, there are decisions on issues, so that you can be able to also look at each other in the eye and tell each other the stark truth, that you know what I know, and you know I know what you know, and going forward, let's not act in a manner that says, don't say, don't ask. Thank you, honorable members. We'll now go to the next business, but the decorum you have displayed reaffirms what everybody expects, that this is a house of reason, this is a house of sobriety, this is a house of maturity, and this is the nerve center of the Republic of Kenya. You are the representatives of the people of Kenya. They have donated this power under the Constitution to you, to levy taxes, to appropriate those taxes, and to audit those taxes through oversight. It can't be any better than that.